They have this propensity towards aggression, even when their lineup is technically out-aggressed. I think what we've got here is a likely bloodbath in the first 20 minutes, and then we're going to be looking and seeing which carry came out ahead. Aster definitely prioritized that. Let's see if they're able to do it. A Morphling game where these teams especially have prioritized the 6-minute mark to rotate supports, and it looks like Talon is all too aware of this. Over in the end, Runa's getting the south side, is picked up by Shadow Demon. The Strat kind of upset about that. Doesn't really have much say when his support is busy giving first blood.
What is this?
Yeah, Q manages to get credit for it, but Talon's got to be happy about that one. And Makoto can come back to the mid lane and continue his farm. He's already got the urn as we talked about. Spirit Vessel, ideally going to be well in the works, but both his supports are still hanging around. Snapfire and Rubik. So if they want a position, they want this kill on Leshrat. They're going to go for the dive using an urn charge. Ooh, the blast just out of range. Don't know if it would have been enough damage, but
yeah, Ori can't go in there. Because the cookie comes out, will land right on his face, and he'll end up dead. So Ori has to stay away from this. Cookie on the high ground, and Shadow Demon got a little bit out of position. Makoto being chased on too. The final poison stack comes out.
Yeah.
Great move by Siamese C to get the better trade.
Yeah, that was, I saw the 5 pop up. I was like, oh no. And then sure enough, he pops it and down goes Invoker. So very well played as he's dying, managing to get the 5th stack off into the Invoker. And part of me is, I don't know about the Invoker coming back in right there, and you know, feels like could have maybe attempted to dodge that a little more effectively, but underestimated what was coming, and sure enough, dies for it. So, but both teams, a lot of focus around this mid lane. These supports, they've basically left the top and bottom lanes completely.
It's because Talon respects what Aster's draft does. It's all about this Leshrac. You know, the rest is kind of supporting cast, minus the Morphling, of course, but he comes in later. So it's all about what does Lesh do and how do we stop him doing it. And that's why Ori's had enough. Great call by Aster to rotate. A good position to rotate. Oh, the missed time. He chronos, though. He actually commits the chrono just to run away, and they're going to continue to dive.
Yeah, that was a very aggressive chrono, especially with OTPs coming in. I understand the idea of being panicked, but without it, they weren't feeling too scared about continuing to go. But yeah, XXS gonna come back together. However, the cookie, the stun, now Savage. He gets a nice bash proc off the bat. He'll take the onslaught from KP. And there's the pulverize. The disruption. Unfortunately not gonna save him, because using on the Faceless Void, and Brewmaster couldn't get away.
No. No, you just died for Boca. We're not doing anything.
Now you see Rubik, he currently has Thunderclap stolen. So, just him managing to take that from the Brewmaster, but keep an eye on that spell steal. As Brewmaster, speaking of him, as we kind of expected, working on that Wraith Pact first, but the Ags queued up for next. Pretty standard for him, it feels like.
Yeah, just means you're more than the split. Like, I know some people are really kind of butthurt by the change, so you don't get double split anymore. But in some ways, this just feels better because now you aren't just the ultimate. Like, in a way you are, because it's part of your ultimate permanently there. But it gives you some independence from this one spell that I think Brew was lacking before.
Yeah, that's actually more eloquently said than what I was trying to make earlier with the Brewmaster. It's good way to put it, actually. So yeah, with these like Doom in the game and stuff like that, you still feel like you could be useful around that. You're not just all in on that ultimate idea.
Speaking of Doom, Doom used to be that way, right? Like, Doom used to be one of the most boring heroes in Dota 2. You Doom someone, and yep, we're done. that's your combo. You Doom, it's all about Doom. Then they evolved him with the way he kind of functions around Scorched Earth and the Devours, and especially with Infernal Blade, the different iterations that went through. I'm glad to say that Doom is a bit more than that now. I think he's reverted somewhat to still be around that ultimate a lot, but who knows? Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe there's new builds to be discovered here in TI.
There it goes.
Certainly potential. Not a new build to be discovered is the Bloodstone on Leshrac, and there you go. It is finished on Ori. So yeah, wow, indeed. He's got it. Pretty good time.
He's going Blink next as well. So he's not even thinking BKB, despite the fact he's up against Spirit Vessel. He has no disc.
The other team, right? So it feels like maybe Talon trying to catch somebody off guard, and XXS perhaps that target. Onslaught meanwhile be used at the backlash. Who did he catch? That's the Shadow Demon it looks like. So XXS, he can't get off that Primal Split. The locked in is too much to handle. Down goes Shadow Demon. Oh, he gets it off in the last second. right as I'm saying that. Meanwhile, Primal Beast, he got the kill on Shadow Demon, but
Scale definitely offset some of the physical damage coming through. But you just see this Void is not ready to fight. He doesn't really contribute anything. He's not able to follow this up. Sure, you can argue there's Chrono, but it's the reset potential. It's the interruption that Aster had with both those supports. And you saw the prioritization KB gave over the Shadow Demon. But even after that, the Shadow Demon's the base. Outside of every spell being hit perfectly, they have no way of fighting. And speaking of perfect spells to open up with, folks have found the mid lane.
It's a BKB activated. Split Earth, not going to hit as a result, but he's still taking plenty of physical damage and no chance Deafening Blast ain't saving him at that point. Q's also locked down with a cock trap, and he's dead as well. This is that kind of that point kicking in now. Aster is just, they're not being stopped. They're just rolling. And that was the Storm Brilling jump initially. I mean, obviously that tornado lasts forever. That was the easy setup for the kill.
That's the beautiful thing about that Tornado Panda, is it lasts so long, you have all the time in the world to get in position, and you know that Talon don't want to fight you. Just look at Void top. This was the only way Talon could play this game, is split push. They can't take a direct fight, even with all their spells available. Just shows you how far ahead Aster are. Aster know it now. They smell blood, and like a shot, they can look to pounce. They'll take a lane and probably look to back away with Roche potentially being up in 30 seconds, but make no mistake, Breaky, if they get their hands on the next Roche, game end state achieved.
We'll take some creeps along the way.
If they don't open with Siamese C, this is going to be a loss. They might find him. Retreat line. Savage is going to reveal him. Siamese C instantly uses disruption though. They're jumping for the track. BKB up. Cataclysm coming through. Lesh is dead. They finally do it. Siamese C also hit the deck, and 23 Savage trying to stand a fight, but Monet is far too big. He will dominate the follow-up of this fight. Follows on into Q next, who is dead. Buyback forced out of both members of Talon, but they have no answer. This Morphling is unstoppable right now, and he will not stop until he has all 5 heads of Talon.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. He is unstoppable. Now, he's in a kind of a funky position right there, and his teammates are dying around him. Brewmaster manages to somehow escape, but again, Monet, he doesn't care how deep he is. He's going to be pulverized. He's getting lower. Remember, he has the Aegis. Worst case. He's manning up against Makoto. Nice job with the Ghost Walk, though. Getting away from the time being, and they will pop the Aegis. So, honestly, this fight is going pretty much as well as it can for Talon right now, considering everything.
Okay, Monet doesn't want to fight. He wants to get out. BKB's on cooldown for 10 seconds. He's going to show respect. What a great turnaround. Talon just picking apart the foundations of Aster's lineup. But Monet, in the second part of this story, might still just take it all on his lonesome. Makoto slowing things down the Tornado EMP, but no way away. Monet will find a big kill on the Invoker. And with no abilities at their disposal, with no Chrono to play off of, although they answer the Leshrac, they have no answer for the Water Boy.
Yeah, Morphling. He's unstoppable. I also like the Faceless Void takeover as well has been great, and it's just that added mobility that's brought to the table for him. Also, the time dilation pop has been effective for him, but especially with that Axe, of course, being the agility benefit there. As a result, I think he's certainly liking that the most. But top tower now going to be the focus with Invoker and Snapfire staying dead. Suggests that this game is feeling like a near impossible task to come back from, and that's a catch on Snapfire. He's up for 50.
So there's part of your Chrono combo gone. No buyback either.
Well, Faceless.
Some cooldown. Chrono's going to come out though. Cataclysm follow up. Monet won't die fast enough. They turn on Nori, bringing him low, but BKB gets activated. The turnaround now. 23 Savage is gone, and Talon have lost all hope. They will finally call it a game of survival, but that's not this game, my friend. Try DayZ, because Dota requires a win, one that Aster comfortably takes.
Not necessarily, but hey, he'll take it. Something. And up top, and Q, he found Jakiro. That's a cog block, and likely a kill. There's a TP in for the Snapfire. Zip zap in from Makoto, though, does secure the kill. However, Clockwork dies in response, pulling on Monet. Monet, that would be a big target kill for them. Makoto, not a lot of mana to work with, but it's enough to secure it. Baboka doing all that he can, even the cookie earlier. Unable to save his teammate, though.
Yeah, and good job by Makoto there. He was holding on to the illusion rune because you said like not much value. There was one thing it had value off there, and it's the gust threat. Once Drow used that gust incorrectly, or not incorrectly, but been forced to use it, shall we say, Makoto was very confident, just he didn't need the illusion necessarily anymore. But I love that detail that he didn't just insta start bottling up to full regen. He's like, I need this in case this dive goes wrong.
Good transition to the jungle to take a stack and pick up some farm. And meanwhile, bottom lane, you got Broodmother. This farm's looking good.
This feels a bit odd, right? Like 1-3-1. This is what I mean. Like this is the thing that Ember suffers with. Is it works at the moment because there's not another hero here. But if one hero shows up, the damage absorption's instantly gone on Flame Guard. And you now have once again no answer to the Broodlings.
Well, again, working with what you got, kind of deal.
Yeah. You've got a safe lane Ember and a mid Storm Spirit. I mean, I'm just disappointed we didn't get the Earth Spirit as well.
Yeah, true.
The Void Spirit. And I guess we'll fill it in with Vengeful Spirit. Oh, nice. Perfect time there. Ori knew what he wanted.
That was one of those cases I was expecting. We saw that coming the whole way, but yeah, Ember Spirit had no clue what was happening. That was beautiful.
It's one of those moments where, like, if we knew in advance, we stick it on Fog, right? We live it like it's a thriller experience from Ember's perspective. Probably just had a heart attack there.
Big Beast trampling out of no. Pops his onslaught right there, you know. Perhaps a different story, but you can see it's fine.
What's up, though? Spin up Prime Beast. Can't get one Spirit. Kill the other one. The most unneeded macro power imaginable, but yeah, might as well throw it out, right? Nothing else to do.
Intimidation is a taunting micropire right there. Make sure that kill is secured, and it absolutely is. So yeah, it's ain't gonna get the Amber Spirit. You'll take the Storm Spirit kill.
Yeah, they're trying to get bought. The Cookie didn't quite connect. The Savage will survive. He's slowly getting farm out of this. Even with just the Javelin, because the low cooldown on Sleight of Fist, it's actually more like a 50% cooldown reduction. By the time he completes the Sleight of Fist, he's gone from a 6-second cooldown to a 3-second cooldown.
All right.
And the Maelstrom's there. So now Savage can start to recover his game.
There you go.
Mid though. Oh, good lord.
A lot of good your armor does against
why is he? I mean, if he was warding, were they trying to make a play?
I think so. Yeah, you see where the Vincent goes, especially. You know, he's got his Wraith back now, so.
Fly away from spiders now. Now that Ember has that Maelstrom online, all you're gonna end up doing is feeding them.
Oh no!
Oh, or he can feed you.
I mean, that's what I was saying earlier. I mean, yes, he's got those remnants to slip out, but they were obviously very ready for this one. I mean, he did not try to hide the fact that he was TPing in right there, thinking that he would be able to evade death, but he was wrong. So good catch from Aster. They get the free tower kill to capitalize, and Broodmother, he ain't leaving his bottom lane still. He's still hanging around.
That's one of those weird things where you've given him the safest lane in theory, but not in practice because of the Brood. Almost feels like Storm got the freer game, but you have to question about, like, what's more important? Is it Storm having a decent point in this game, or is it Ember? Now, Storm does have the BKB coming up, at which stage I think things change and they give more space to Ember where they think is safer, right? Truly safer. The question is, what can you do that BKB? Mikoto trying to chase in, but Baoka quick to move out, quick to be returned. That should lead into a tier 1 push, but a lot of time has been taken on this. Ori will be able to counterattack from the side. BKB activated and moves straight with the Pulverize. Primary target is going to be the Visage. The bonus on the side is going to be that Clockwork.
Great combo, especially with the Jakiro coming in, throwing on the Ice Path. That was a thing of beauty in terms of Aster and their counter initiation right there. So yes, they lost their teammate, but overall pretty good right now. Jakiro trying to say, well, there's that BKB activation from the Storm Spirit. Pulls back in Jakiro, secures the kill, but he's going to TP out immediately. And yes, he does get out. He was very low though. Maybe one more auto attack if the Broodmother secures it, but good decision to TP out immediately after he's got the kill on Jakiro at least.
Very close to death, but let's look at the negatives here. I mean, I hate to be a negative Nelly in this one, but Mikoto just committed his big fat BKB. That's his big reveal for a Jakiro kill. Oh, really premium value you're looking for. And now on cooldown for 60 seconds, Aster should end up with a lot more map control in the coming minute. I say as XXS just spreads his webs everywhere. Yeah. You block all hook shot routes. Good lord. Gus came out on the Clockwork as well. They're going to commit on top of Monet, forcing the BKB. Price is going to be both your supports for a mission here. And the Pulverize in the back line. They found another one. Kodo will be able to run away. After that, You could easily just turn around and take Tal's Aster. There's only a tier 2 left in the mid lane, but you're perfectly poised to take it.
Or he's
Wait,
still
he's going?
oh my god! Oh, he almost actually hit him. That was crazy.
I love the way he kind of diverted away from relying just on spiders. BKB looking towards a sheepstick next. We'll have the means to kill heroes. Kills top lane. Big one. Mikoto gets caught out. Crafty bugger he is. The Jakiro gets a prime target.
Back down here. Speaking of the Moon Mother. Yeah, Clockwork, Cogs. That's not going to stop him too much. Drow does connect. And I think that range was going to hit, but the multi-shot, it connects. And they're going to kill some familiars as well.
Yeah, never doubt the power of Dragon Lance. Good old Dragon Lance coming in clutch there. Just the tip of the icy arrow connecting with the clock, and now you've lost your reliable initiation. I say reliable, like your best initiation. It's not even necessarily reliable in the clockwork, which means that Aster get to do this again. And remember, that clockwork, he brought back last time, so they know he can't catch them off guard with a buyback hook shot.
Dyer's bottom tower.
Yeah, it's a free tower, and definitely these racks going to start melting away. The pings come out as if they want to initiate, but Aster postured. Exactly, they're ready in case anything does, and it goes back to Clockwork being dead. For the strongest, but Storm Spirit wants to go in. He keeps pinging it out as if they're going to make a play. It's just a matter of when and how. Well, apparently now is the win, but immediately zips away, and his teammate Visage is just dead. He melts off the bat. Disruptor also takes a fall, and the Rax is cleaned out. So you can tell there was definitely hesitation there as a team. Maybe a little bit not on the same page, and either way, it's a free fight for Aster.
Might be a free second lane now because of that. Because I was going for 40 seconds. That means you haven't got any Wraith Pact or maximum damage will be coming your way.
Especially the fact that they had to go much more defensive route, a couple of BKBs, but initiation commences off right here. Clockwork, he's having to deal with the primal beast. XXS was gone by Storm Spirit, but with the BKB activation, he's feeling fine. Insatiable hunger and takes out the Disruptor. The pulverize on Ember Spirit, meanwhile, in the midst of it, and Ember Spirit will remnant away, but Storm Spirit, he's still having a zip zap out. Clockwork manages to get out and a TP out from KP. It's just retreat time all over the place for Talon, and only the one death, so there's that positive, I suppose.
Yep, and that's a 20k net worth lead. And Talon, this is the problem for them. They wanted to come out of the base. They wanted to play the game. They're trying to be productive. They thought that actually there would be a response to the bot lane pushing, so that Aster would send one, maybe two heroes. They didn't. Aster hung around. They kept a pretty tight formation. They were anticipating this play. I think this is a problem for Talon, is their moves are limited, and thus they've become more predictable. They either fight directly or they try to split you up to fight, and every time you split up, it's getting more and more risky. Luckily, this time the Ember will get away. Jakiro was TPing in top after the pulverize the follow-up. Now they're forced to hero up here. They'll look to make a play, and this time they have the number advantage.
Yeah. They're not going to necessarily go too far out. Clockwork in fact is like, oh god, not this again. Got a Ghost Scepter at least.
And Ember's like, oh god, this again. Num 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 num. Just eat all those creeps.
Just see him constantly poking in though. Oh yeah,
Roche is up, and XSS done this on purpose. He's basically just bodyguarding. No hook shot opportunity, nothing can come, because he'll just guard against it. Pretty crafty play. Means that this Roche is just going to be a freebie, and as soon as Talon get out of their base, they might be heading straight back for it.
They scanned it out, but it's just way too late with that information, so they're having 23 Savage push out the middle lane at least. But yeah, as you pointed out, they're going to have to just fully retreat now. Not too much.
Oh no. This poor little boy. That's the gem as well. Okay, that was actually by design, by the way. Monet walked past the clock, probably could have like peeled him a little. Obviously, there's a Ghost Scepter there, but he noticed the D-Ward going on. And Talon now have no way of easily getting map control, no way of D-Warding. They've got the Spirits playing the outer lane, but that doesn't matter anymore. Aster are knocking at your doors. You have to come and defend.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
All five are here. Disruptor out for 35 seconds. Visage up at a couple. Actually, you have to defend, but you've already down. You've already lost the Rax bottom lane. They're just actually going to smoke and run right to the top lane. Got to secure and finish those mega creeps, but here we go with Talon, understanding that they got to try something. Well, it might not seem like they have much of a chance at it.
So much to ask right now. Like the Spirits looking broken. Not in a good way. Jump in, pulverize instantly. Half HP on KP. The follow-up with the Hex enables the kill. Backline's being stabbed at, but Baboka, the only one that can take Monet, cannot be killed twice. That's the problem. We'll at least get out with the spirits. Buyback is forced out KP. Now you haven't got a leg to stand on. The Rack's likely to go down here. The only thing slowing it down is the Wraith back Dora.
Drow Ranger getting a little bit low. Again, he has an Aegis, so like a clock is running in. It's like, please, I just want to hug you. Hug of death. It's going to be his death. Pulverize in the back, GG. That's it.
And a hug filled with tears for poor little Talon here, as Aster will take game 1 and 2, making it a clean, dominant showing of the SEA team.